Another week of reviews?
I let the baby panda die, now it's not coming back. I saw the blood in its eyes, its fur was no longer black. It's not coming back. It's not coming back.
Phoenix, Arizona folk punk band AJJ have returned for their 8th studio album, Disposable Everything. Although AJJ has been around since 2004, this has been their first album I have actually listened to. So on that front, I can't comment on how this album compares to their previous releases. But as a first listen to the band, Disposable Everything is a mixed but decent, politically charged sing-along folk album. The album opens with the track Strawberry Probably, with distorted acoustic guitars giving a neutral Milk Hotel vibe. The song seems to be about grief and consumerism, with lead singer Sean Bonnet singing about walking out of the store without paying for their t-shirt because everything is free now. Everything being for free now is then sung on repeat as the song starts to fade away. It is an immediately engaging track that sets up the rest of the album. The next song, Dissonance, begins with stating solidarity forever before breaking into a catchy ditty about our political culture causing cognitive dissonance. There is a great line here with Sean asking if anyone knows when we last shared an objective reality. For anyone who has spent any time on social media, this kind of epistemic crisis is very apparent. The song also has this fun and upbeat nature, which kind of gives it this sense of delusion, as if you're being happy in the face of impending doom. The contrast there is just incredible. The song Moon Valley High is about Jake Angeli, who is also known as the QAnon Shaman, or the Q Shaman. He is the poster child, if you will, of the January 6th storming of the Capitol. Apparently, Sean and him lived in the same city, and their parents were friends until they had a falling out. Sean reflects on the fact that they were almost friends, and yet seemingly turned out very different, with Sean describing this as virtually insane. I have to wonder as well if virtual insane is a reference to Jamiroquai's Virtual Insanity, since in the song Sean compares Jake Angeli to looking like Jamiroquai. Lyrically, this is a great concept for a song, but the execution isn't the greatest musically. There is this really interesting, almost psychedelic rock interlude in the middle of the song, but beyond that, the song just kind of fizzles out into nothingness. We then get what I consider to be the best song on this album, Death Machine. I mean, we do in fact live inside of a death machine, and capitalism seems to be eating us all alive and killing the planet, and we're kind of fucked. But at the end of the day, this song rocks, so yeah. Death Machine. I also have to admit that this is a pretty cathartic song to just sing along to. And the music has this really cool and catchy synth line combined with all these weird distorted screams. It is just a well-produced and, dare I say, incredible pop-punk track. It is also one of my favorite songs of the year so far. Up next is the track White Ghosts, which reminds me a lot of the Flaming Lips, especially with Sean sounding somewhat similar to earlier Wayne Coyne. I am also pretty sure that this song is about sperm. It is a weird song with some violins and about sperm, which it's okay, I guess. The title track, Disposable Everything, continues on the subdued side. It's mostly acoustic, but with this distorted bass sound in the background. It is simply about the disposability of everything, and it is touching and sad with a faint glimmer of hope. It is just a beautiful song and an enjoyable listen. But things pick back up with the track The Baby Panda featuring Laura Stevenson. It is a pretty straightforward song about how we fucked up the entire planet, even the sun in the sky, and how nothing is coming back as we die off. It has this carnivalesque mood to it as they sing la 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 to everything in what is a catchy chorus about everything dying. There is something very enjoyable about the almost aloof nature or silly quality to these songs about what are otherwise huge existential crises. A Thought of You is another weird song that seems to be about the death of someone who now seems to haunt Sean in his sleep. But much like the other songs on this album, it is played off in a silly way, only to end with this weird outro that is, in my opinion, kind of annoying. Some of the songs here just don't really feel like they belong, or their presence here isn't clear, and the music is also subpar, which is sad when there are a lot of fantastic tunes on this album. This vibe continues with the next song, Candles of Love. This song has an old piano ballad vibe to it. The song seems to be about a gift of battery-powered candles that are starting to go dim. I guess it is sort of about capitalism and planned obsolescence, but again, the message isn't clear, and the song is honestly kind of boring. Continuing with the lack of clarity is the song I Hate Rock and Roll Again. The song feels very sarcastic, but it is not clear what is, I guess, being sarcastically spoken on the song. The song mocks rock music while being itself a rock song, and then complains about the death of Daniel Johnston and the future death of Neil Young, but I'm not sure what the message is here. Like, is Sean saying that Daniel Johnston and Neil Young suck just like rock and roll? Or does rock and roll now suck because Daniel Johnston and Neil Young eventually will be gone? It is such a short and unclear song that is just useless on this album. However, we do get another great tune before this album ends, which is called Schadenfreude. Simply going along with the title, this tune is about enjoying when dickheads get thwarted, and I think I can, but probably everyone can relate to that. I Want to Be Your Dog Too is about wanting to be close to someone, like a dog, or a pebble in a shoe, or a plate that someone will eat off of. There is this sense that this relationship is unhealthy because his desire to be with the person seems to lead him to being used by them. I do appreciate that this song has almost this power pop quality to it, combined with the folk and punk rock of the rest of the album. I wasn't blown away by this track, but compared to some of the others that are not that great, it is a pretty decent song overall. The track All of My Woods sees Sean regretting all the dumb shit he has done while mourning the loss of his mother. It is a sweet song with definitely a more folk vibe to it, including the addition of some banjo here, which is quite nice. We then end the album with the track In the Valley. This song feels like a slow, melancholy song that would end a sitcom. It is simply okay. It feels like a less impactful Neutral Milk Hotel song. This was a fairly uneven album with several songs that are incredible, well-produced, and impactful, while others that just feel stale and tired. I wish I could have had something better to say than that, but sadly I don't. Death Machine is a killer track though, and is probably, again, one of my favorite songs of the year. But the album, I'm going to have to give it a 6 out of 10. I was almost leaning towards a 5.5 out of 10, but some of the good quality songs on here bump it up to a 6 for me, so that is where it will sit. What did you think of this album? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you as mixed about this album as I am? Please let me know down in the comments. You can even like the video, subscribe to the channel, or just be happy with who you are.